Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hanging Out for a Living, where we have meaningful conversations with people who are living and working with purpose, even when the road to get there wasn't really easy. Today, I am blessed to be hanging out with Matt Melvin, author, advocate, and someone who knows firsthand what it feels like to be misunderstood. Matt is the author of Bullied Behind Bars, a memoir that chronicles his journey through loneliness, identity, faith mistakes, and ultimately federal prison. Diagnosed with autism as an adult, navigating life as a gay Christian and outspoken Trump supporter, Matt's story is layered, complicated, and deeply human. What I appreciate about Matt's story is that it's not about labels, it's about responsibility, growth, and becoming better on the other side of consequences. Matt, I am so grateful that you're here with me today.
I'm so grateful that you invited me to be a guest.
Let me dive into the questions that I have for you. You talk openly about feeling misunderstood growing up, especially before your autism diagnosis. So, when you're looking back now, what do you understand about yourself that you wish others had understood then?
I am a very unique individual that comes to the world different. I value people that come into my life that are different. I want men and women in my life that will challenge me to be a better person.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit about you describe yourself as a gay Christian Trump supporter. Three identities that, in today's world, can feel politically and culturally charged. How have those layers of identity shaped your resilience and your sense of self?
I refuse to allow other people to identify who I am. I'm a very outspoken person. The Bible means what it says and says what it means, and that's how I live my life. Look, there's a song called Not For Everyone by Brothers Osborne. That is how I live my life. I am very direct. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't use excuses. That's how I come to the world. And look, will people not like me? Sure. But what other people think of me is none of my business.
Right, exactly. And what's important is what God thinks of you and who God says you are, not what the world says or not who the world says you are.
Exactly. I get nasty messages on Instagram and
Oh,
Facebook all the time from haters. And look, when people bullied me, it was because they don't love themselves and they use other people to take advantage of. If somebody loved themselves, then they wouldn't take advantage of somebody else. And for most of my life, I didn't love myself. That's why I ended up in the situation that I was in. When I stole the car in 2004, I was in a way saying, I'm not going to be taken advantage by bullies anymore. Did I do it the wrong way? No question. Absolutely.
right. And yeah, and I just love your whole attitude about all that. And I just really, really admire that. Just taking responsibility and knowing who you are. And those people that are the haters, as we both call them, that's a reflection on them and not on you or on us. So, absolutely. So, your time in federal prison clearly changed you. What was the hardest truth you had to face while incarcerated, and what lesson do you carry with you today because of it?
The hardest truth was I was going to have a record for the rest of my life.
Oh. And then, what lesson do you carry from it today?
If it weren't for going to federal prison, I don't believe I would be as a devout Christian as I am today. I spent a lot of time in solitary confinement. And while the prison might have had my body, they didn't have my mind. And I know a lot of people that are allowing other people to live rent free in their head.
Oh, yeah.
And I developed skills, fasting, praying, reading my Bible, getting exercise. All of these disciplines have helped me to be the man I am today. I know a lot of people that struggle with all of those things, and it's because they don't have the discipline. And I met a lot of drug addicts, and they would always say, I just need one more fix. I just need to do it one more time. I had the same mentality. I just need to steal one more time, or I need to drive 130 one more time. And that one turns into two, turns into three, four, five. So what you need to do is stop it right now. Because if you don't do it today, you're going to put it off tomorrow and it's going to turn into that insanity, doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results.
Exactly. So you said that prison wasn't for nothing. You just shared that. Um, that you came out better because of it. And for someone watching who feels defined by their worst mistake, what would you say to them?
You need to forgive yourself. You need to love yourself, whether that means looking in the mirror and telling yourself you love yourself 110 times. Do not ask other people for their opinion on you. Because if I ever ask somebody for their opinion on me, I will always be disappointed.
Absolutely. What wonderful and great advice. And I have to tell you, Matt, this conversation has been so enlightening and empowering. And folks who are watching or listening, if this conversation resonates with you, especially if you've ever felt misunderstood, labeled, or defined by your lowest moment, I encourage you to connect with Matt. His contact information and the link to grab a copy of his book, Bullied Behind Bars. You're going to find it all here in the description of this video. And all of his information, as I said, it will be in this video. And because no one is just their headline, right? And growth is possible even in the hardest places. So, Matt, thank you for taking time away. I know you're busy and sought after for all sorts of podcasts and things. I am so glad that you hung out with all of us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You also. Bye, everybody.